27 BC, the title Augustus is bestowed upon Gaius Julius Caesar Octavianus by the Roman Senate. 550 Gothic War 535–552. The Ostrogoths, under King Totila, conquer Rome after a long siege by bribing the Isaurian garrison. 929 Caliphate of Cordoba is established by Emir Abd-al-Rahman III. In 1120, the Council of Nablus is held, establishing the earliest surviving written laws of the Crusader Kingdom of Jerusalem. In 1219, floods in northern Netherlands after storm, thousands killed. In 1362, a great storm tide in the North Sea destroys the German island of Strand and the city of Rungholt. In 1412, the Medici family is appointed official banker of the Papacy. In 1492, the first grammar of a modern language, Spanish, is presented to Queen Isabella. In 1501, Portuguese navigator Pedro Álvares Cabral and 6 ships set off from Canary, India, on their return voyage to Lisbon. In 1531, English Reformation Parliament second sitting. In 1572, Thomas Howard, 4th Duke of Norfolk, is tried and convicted of high treason for his part in the Ridolfi plot to restore Catholicism in England. In 1581, English Parliament passes laws restricting Catholicism. Don Quixote, published 1605, first edition of El Ingenioso Hidalgo Don Quixote de la Mancha Part 1 of Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes is published in Madrid. In 1668, infamous sword duel between George Villiers, Duke of Buckingham, and Francis Talbot, Earl of Shrewsbury, over Anne, Duchess of Shrewsbury and Mistress of Buckingham. The Earl is mortally wounded. 1. In 1707, the Act of Union is ratified by the Scottish Parliament. In 1749, hoax article advertising fictitious theatrical performer The Bottle Conjuror drew huge crowds to Haymarket Theatre, London, whose inevitable non-appearance caused a riot. It is alleged the Duke of Montagu perpetrated the fiasco to win a bet. In 1756, Britain and Prussia signed the Treaty of Westminster, agreeing to respect each other's European territories. In 1761, the British capture Pondicherry, India, from the French. Messier adds to Star Catalogue 1765. French astronomer Charles Messier catalogues M41 galactic cluster in Canis Major. In 1776, Continental Congress approves enlistment of free blacks. In 1777, Vermont declares independence from New York. In 1780, Battle of Cape St. Vincent, British fleet under Admiral Sir George Rodney defeats Spanish squadron under Don Juan de Elangara. In 1795, French army under Pichegru occupies Utrecht, Netherlands. In 1809, Peninsular War, the British defeat the French at the Battle of Coronel. In 1819, Godert van der Capellen becomes Governor-General of Dutch East Indies. Beagle's first landing 1832. Charles Darwin lands at Porto Preo in the Cape Verde Islands, the first landing of his HMS Beagle voyage. In 1847, John C. F. Farmont is appointed governor of the new California Territory. In 1862, Hartley Colliery disaster in Northumberland, England, results in 204 deaths. 1863, Aug. 23rd cruise of CSS Florida. In 1864, heavy fighting takes place near Dandridge, Tennessee. 40 acres and a meal. 1865, General William T. Sherman issues Field Order 15, redistributing confiscated southern land to newly freed black families in 40-acre plots. 1. In 1865, munitions magazine explodes at Fort Fisher, North Carolina, killing or injuring 200 soldiers. Carelessness of drunken soldiers blamed. 1. In 1865, San Francisco Dramatic Chronicle starts. In 1868, refrigerator car patented by William Davis, a fish dealer in Detroit. In 1870, Virginia becomes 8th state reunited to U.S. after Civil War. In 1871, Jefferson Long of Georgia sworn in as second black congressman. In 1877, color organ for light shows patented by Bainbridge Bishop. In 1878, Captain Burego with a squadron of Russian Imperial Army dragoons liberates Plovdiv from Ottoman rule. In 1879, January record 13 of snowfalls in NYC broken Jan 7, 1996. In 1879, the Windham Resolution by Minnesota Senator William Windham encourages black migration out of the South, helping trigger the exodus of 1879. 6,000 Southern blacks flee Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas for Kansas. 1. In 1883, Pendleton Act creates basis of U.S. civil service system. In 1883, Quebec Rugby Football Union forms. In 1887, Cliff House damaged when powder cargo of schooner Parallel explodes. 1889, 128 F-53C, Flankery, Queensland Australian record. In 1896, defeat of Cymru Fyd at South Wales Liberal Federation AGM, Newport, Monmouthshire. My Pedagogic Creed 1897, American scholar John Dewett's essay My Pedagogic Creed appears in School Journal. In 1900, United States Senate accepts the Anglo-German Treaty of 1899, in which the United Kingdom renounces its claims to the Samoan Islands. In 1900, the US gains control over Tutuila in Samoa and several smaller Pacific islands. In 1905, baseball outfielder Frank Heelsman completes 8 transactions in 8 months. In 1905, Stanley Cup, DS Arena, Ottawa, Ontario, Ottawa. Senators rout Dawson City, Yukon. 3-2 for 2-0 series sweep. Most lopsided challenge playoff game in history. Frank Magee 14 goals. 1906 APRA 13 Conference of Algeciras about Morocco. In 1908 Pinnacles National Monument, California established. In 1909 Antarctic explorers Douglas Mawson, Edgeworth David and Alastair Mackay reach South Magnetic Pole as part of the Nimrod expedition. In 1911 Pandora becomes first 2-man sailboat to round Cape Horn west to east. In 1913 British House of Commons accepts Home Rule for Ireland, but the Great War gets in the way of it happening. Gorky returns to Russia. 1914 writer Maxim Gorky returned to Russia from Capri after being granted an amnesty. In 1915 Congress authorizes 150 Panama Pacific Intel Expo gold coin. 1917 Zimmermann telegram is sent from Germany to Mexico, offering promise of Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico being given to Mexico in return for joining World War I if the US enters on the Allied side. British intelligence intercepts